What's going on, everybody? As you may have already seen, this is going to be a pretty slow week in War of the Visions. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're on vacation, because Gumi certainly is not on vacation. They're trying to figure out ways to make us spend right now. So you got to make sure to do everything that you can sort of catch up on this week. So I'm just going to go through a few things that I am going to try to catch up on. And what we're going to do here is start in the far plane, and I'm going to go here to the single player far plane. And right away for me, the first thing that I want to catch up on is the daily Alcryst chambers. I'm basically going to just come in here, just going to skip battle and just skip a bunch, throw a potion in, lather, rinse and repeat. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get as many water memories as I can, because I have definitely fallen behind with my Titus. He is, I think I just got him to 115, or max level 115, but I've definitely fallen behind, and I feel like I need him if I want to kind of try to stay competitive. I have not been doing super well in class match this week, but we shall see what happens. Another thing that I will want to make sure, you guys might want to make sure of this too, is to make sure you get your blossoms. If you haven't already gotten them, make sure you get your blossoms for the month. There's one here in the Alcryst chamber level 6, and then there's another one here in the high difficulty chamber, if I could get there, in the brutal difficulty red chamber. Any of these three levels are the same, and the 6 element levels are the same. So you can farm 1 blossom here and 3 memories. So as you can see, I'm still missing my unknown soldiers memories. So I'm gonna try to at least get 1 or 2 of them before the week is over, or I should say before the month is over, because the month is over pretty soon, and we'll check that in a little bit. So that's one other thing. So now let's go to the challenge keys. So guys, if you click here on the top right where my face is, and you click on key quests, there's a bunch of key quests here, which you may or may not have done, but now is a great opportunity to start doing them. And I kind of noticed we never got any Magicite keys, at least I don't have any. They might be paid, but I don't exactly know, but that's besides the point. Last time we had a slow week, what I did was I went into Runeblade, and I pretty much farmed it overnight. It kind of turned out that it was actually pretty easy, because this is such an old challenge that my account just got stronger, so it was actually pretty easy for me. So that might be worth doing. As long as you have water units for the Ifrit challenge, you should be good. Another one, I probably need to do the first 3 here. And the last one. So basically everything aside from the Runeblade, because when these originally came out, my account was crappy. So I don't really have recipes for all this stuff. I do plan to start with the Sage's Hat here, because I feel like that's going to be the most useful. However, we're coming up on which potentially I might talk about in a bit, but potentially we might be getting the Christmas Flan Raid, which will give us another evasion item. So maybe this isn't as important, but it would be good to get like maybe 2 of these, so you can use 1 of those and 2 of these. However that works out best. Probably still good to get the Sage's Hat either way. But I also need the golden armor here. I also need the Ochu ring. I feel like the Ochu ring has actually been useful for farming the red, I think it's the red brutal quest, because there's a marble burrow in there, and sometimes it paralyzes you. So with Eldira, I usually go into multi, and if you just happen to be in that slot, you're gonna get paralyzed. So I just put on the paralyzation ring, and it lowers the chance of paralyzed. That's pretty much been the best use of it so far. I believe there was another use of it before, but I actually don't even remember what that was. It might have been Tower or something, or it might have just been another challenge. So another thing I kind of wanted to mention is I was actually waiting to buy anything until we got 9S here in the daily purchases, because I am not going for 2B unless I somehow get magically lucky, but I won't be going for 2B. So here I am just kind of doing my daily purchases, so that I can get some extra 9S shards and kind of save on Viz. It's kind of weird that I value Visual to be more valuable than actual money, but I guess that's the nature of a free-to-play game. So, and if we go in here, I'm waiting for the month to refresh so I can invest more into selling price, so I can use up those adamantoises and sell them for a higher price. So I've kind of been holding them for a few weeks now. So right here, if we go to the special shop, definitely it should be at the bottom now since I just bought it. The Nier Visual Pack F with 80% off. Very good value right there, so I went for that first. But I probably might buy a few of these other ones, namely the Chocobo Pack. Let me see. There's one that has Chocobo tickets. That one seems pretty good. This one seems pretty good too, like these two right here. They're under $10, so I probably won't have a problem buying them. The other one that I think was pretty good was, I think, it was one of these. Was it one of these? Yeah, they give you 5,000 for 36, or you can go for this and get 6,000 plus the medals. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go for this, but we have 20 days to decide that, so I might just go for it at the end there. These are also relatively cheap looking. This isn't as much paid Visual, but it does give you a lot of good stuff, so that's looking pretty decent. This is the one that I was thinking of. 5,000, and then you get the shards, so it's almost like the metal one, but a little bit cheaper, and you get a little less, but it's a little bit cheaper if you kind of want to go for that instead. It's just different options. This one is also good because you get free, like a bunch of free Visuals, so that might be another one I might buy. So I might be just going for a lot of stuff here. All right, so the next thing I wanted to go over were the monthly tokens. So basically, if we go to the Mog Shop, there's going to be the friend medals here, and you might want to review what you want from here. I've kind of already been buying Ketone, but there's a chance that these units might disappear and be replaced with something else. So I just kind of want to make sure to get what I need. I kind of already have Aldera and Medina, but Medina might be worth getting Mind Spheres, so that might be good. The cards here are probably worth maxing out if you don't have them, so I actually still have to go for Solidus. It is super expensive though. I mean, you do get a lot of arena medals, but this is expensive, so it kind of evens out. And apparently I have enough to buy another Hermes sandal or a platinum armor. I probably will go for the platinum armor just because I don't have any, so I'll go for that. And then if I don't get the defense, I still need the speed one, the speed Hermes, so I'll probably go for that, and I'll just alternate between them until I get the right one that I need. The guild medal is the one that I wanted to talk about a little bit here, is because, you know, they barely give you enough to buy everything. They don't give you enough to buy anything. I guess maybe the top guilds do get enough. So I've sort of bought the Rainbow Fragment of Thought, the MR one, and I haven't bought as many gold ones, but I kind of started to realize that the blossoms are going to be the hardest things to get. So it might be worth giving up one or two of your Rainbow Fragments of Thought and maybe one MR to get this Blossom of Paradise. It might be the new bottleneck. Like, we might get to a point that Rainbow Fragment of Thoughts might not even be the scarce thing anymore. So that might be something that's worth thinking about. So another thing I wanted to mention was actually what I meant by monthly tokens was actually the ones that we actually get achievements for. Let me cancel out of that and go to home. The ones that we get like those little achievements from. So this is what I meant. This is about to expire, so it would be good to finish out whatever you haven't finished here. I definitely didn't do the guild chamber, so I lost my chance for that. But I am definitely not gonna do 1500, so that's not gonna happen. So there's other ones too here, which I think I finished all of them, just because I did end up building some equipment this month. so I managed to max some of that out. You might want to look at there, and then there's the daily one from here. So I think I'm in pretty good shape for this. I guess I have to go here and then check from here. So I have about 88, so that's, I think the most I got was like 50 something. I'm not even entirely sure. But let's go back to the Mog Shop and talk about our next thing, is that the FF10 stuff is about to end. If we go to the anniversary medals, so I just spent a bunch of them on Titus and whatever on Yuna, and actually it doesn't even matter because it was all Mind Spheres, but I'm probably gonna end up spending most of that for Mind Spheres. And I haven't finished Orin to level 99, but I'll probably just slow build them in the barracks and then kind of get the rest of the Mind Spheres slowly from the barracks. I think that's pretty much my only option. I'm still getting from the Chocobo, but that's about to end soon too, and you guys can check that on your own, I guess. Here's another thing that's about to end. I ended up making a lot of medals from the auto solo farm, so that was actually very useful. I bought a lot of the Galmia coats, and I think I definitely want to buy more next month because it's actually really good. It gives you magic, like offensive magic, so that's going to be super good to have. So that's another thing that I'm kind of, it's on a timer. And the defense bracer is actually really good too. Unfortunately, it's not going to be back next month like the Galmia coat will, but the defense bracer actually stops you from getting disabled, or helps prevent you from being disabled. So that is actually really good, and I think it has like really high defense. So it's actually a really good piece of armor, and I definitely am finding it to be pretty useful. The other thing that I want to focus on is for the FF10. We really have 20 days for this, but I just finished, this is the wrong one. I just finished getting all the red memories. So I even got Orin's, which I probably won't be able to use all of them for a while, but I did get his. So that's all worth getting. And on top of that, it might be worth farming just to get some more of these elemental prisms and elemental fragments of thought, just because a lot of them are needed for EX job stuff. So I think that's definitely worth getting as well. What else? Same thing with the Nier. I'm almost done with, well, not really. I got a bunch of them. I'm gonna build this even if I don't even have 9S. I'm gonna just still get these. Just who knows? Maybe I'll get them in the future sometime if the collab ever comes back. So I'm just gonna make it. But there's also all these prisms here, and I think going forward it's going to be a good idea to kind of start buying up the prisms and the elemental fragments of thought, just because they're not impossible to get, but they are limited. They're also in the friend shop, so if you really need to get them, you can get them here, but I'd rather save my friend medals and just kind of just farm the other medals because they're farmable. Alright, so one other thing that I wanted to make sure was to buy was the broadstones here. I think we only have one extra broadstone, and that was from the bingo missions. So this one here I already bought, but if you haven't bought this, I think it's worth buying at least the Asia one for the MRs. Granted, it doesn't seem like we're getting a lot of MRs coming up, but if this is a monthly thing, it's going to be good to get your monthly one. And that kind of leads me into my next topic, which is Seymour. I definitely think I will EX Seymour, but I want to make sure that we do actually get another one when this ends. So I'm going to wait till the end of the week to start EXing him. Maybe I won't, because we do get that one. So I haven't really decided yet. So Seymour is definitely one that I do want to build, just because he's going to be on my fire team. So that kind of brings me into the other topic, which is what is the next raid. Some people are saying it's going to be the Christmas flan. I'm not entirely 100% sure, maybe 90% sure that it's coming out, just because it's a Christmas themed raid. So I'm not really sure how that's going to happen. And if Mont comes out next week, they're probably going to do the Mont specific raid the week after. But they have been known to switch up who is good for what raid, so who really knows what's going to happen. But if the raid is the one for Mont, then I already have the fire team ready, and Seymour and Mont, assuming I get Mont, I will be building them up, so I'm already automatically going to be planning for that. But the other possibility for the raid is if we get the Christmas flan, it might be a good time to start working on some strike units. So 2 of the strike units I'm going to be working on are Etra. Here I have all her stuff ready to go. I just haven't built her at all yet, just because I haven't felt the need to use her. And when I did like finish maxing her out, I didn't have a lot of materials. But as you can see here, well, I guess I have a ton of earth stuff, but I also have a bunch of fragments of dot lying around, so I think now is a good time to build her. And then the other person here is Mary Luke. I did manage to max her from all the free MR pulls. She seems to be super attracted to my account, no pun intended with the electricity there, but she's definitely a possibility for that raid. That raid should be weak against Winter Venera, which is strike and ground. So if you have Mary Luke, she might be a good backup. Etra is the right type, so she's definitely a good backup if you don't have Winter Venera. Of course, if you have Raldor is going to be a really good one as well. And the other person that I'm thinking of is Ziza, because she's also a monk. So I don't know if I have another striking unit as a main job, but I definitely have some as a sub job. So that's going to be a very good thing to start working on, especially since I'm already prepared for the fire. Like, basically my fire team is ready to go, pretty much maxed. Really all I will need is the swords, and once I get the swords, I'm going to be ready to destroy that raid. So I'm not going to have a problem with that whatsoever. And I think that's pretty much all I have. So let me stop bragging about being good for that raid, and let you guys go. I know this video is actually longer than I thought it would be, so let me end it there. Alright guys, take it easy, and I'll see you in the next video.